You see, critical thinking is what is our biggest tool against the tyranny of the urgent. And critical thinking doesn't have to take a whole semester. I don't care what they told you in college. Critical thinking can be done just if you take a pause. Just if you pause for a moment. I do this speech for my fellow project managers as well, and I tease them about it because we're always running on deadlines just like everybody else, and I ask them, how many of you take 10 seconds to decide what you're going to have for breakfast? Well, you'd be amazed at how many people take more than 10 seconds to decide what they're going to have for breakfast. So I'd like to know, why does it suddenly seem that you don't have 10 seconds to evaluate the decisions you make about the businesses, the organizations, the people, and the community that you support? Aren't those things worth 10 seconds? If your breakfast and the choice between oatmeal and Cheerios is worth 10 seconds, you gotta ask yourself. There's even a whole movement called slow food. Speaking as a woman who knows every item in the already cooked, just heated up section of Safeway, I confess, I'm not real good at that. But that's because my personal former Marine happens to be a heck of a lot better cook than I am. That is my story, and I'm sticking with it. But the whole idea is that we allow life and urgency to tyrannize us. We allow it, which means that with courage, with fortitude, and being willing to put up with things when they aren't really wonderful sometimes, we can stop it. So the whole slow food movement says, if you stop and you slow down the rest of the world to a more human pace, you have the ability, all of a sudden, to recover mastery of your life, control of the timing, and control of whether or not it's important or urgent. Another very public decision that was made that I believe is a great example of not giving in to the tyranny of the urgent would be the decision that was made when the Tylenol poisonings occurred. How many of you remember that? Okay. How many of you who remember that are still taking Tylenol? Wow. Okay. Now, on the surface of it, that would seem like a bad thing, but I have to tell you, a great number of other pain-killing drugs have hit the market since Tylenol, that whole incident. But the gentleman who ran the company, James Burke, sat down, and when everybody else was screaming bloody murder, do something, do something, do something, he did something. He gave it some serious thought. And then he said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take every box of Tylenol off the shelves. And his board of directors said, we said do something, we didn't mean that. You're going to lose thousands, millions of dollars. And he said, yeah, and if we don't get right to the bottom of this, we could lose lives. I'll take that risk.